Welcome to the 20-Minute Gamer channel. I'm your host, Nick, and we're back with another, that's right, tactical breakdown. Alright, so we're going to be tackling the Montero today. And the Montero is just a, I think you all understand how I feel about the Montero. I don't know. There's something else I'd rather do. I've had cavities filled without anesthetic, so I'm not going to say that because I think I'd rather play the Montero than get that done. Regardless, we're going to go ahead and look at my tactical decisions and what probably could have gone better and what could have gone worse. Now, right out of the gate here, I'm going to say I will never bring recon on the Montero again. I believe recon is absolutely useless. Now, I do get some decent kills with recon on this level, but for the degree and the amount of contact that you take, it would be better to roll in here with 3 gunners, 1 sergeant, and 1 techer. The techer is going to be beneficial for the recon, the gunners are going to be beneficial for their smart guns, and that sergeant is going to be absolutely instrumental in reprimand and just in mitigating that stress. Now, I didn't use reprimand that much. I probably should have, but it is what it is. Now, jumping into things here, we know what we're getting into. So I plan on taking my recon drone on a little bit of a hike. Drone's going to go on a little bit of a scout. So I know that there are several drones in the other room. So we're going to go ahead and spin forward a little bit until we get to pulling those drones forward. But I wanted to set some turrets up here because I intend on leading the drones into my turrets. So let's get to that point here. All right, so right around here, I decide I'm going to go ahead and start my luring process. Now, one thing I did go ahead and do in the meantime is I did go ahead and drop some mines. So with those mines being dropped, I knew that I was also going to go ahead and take care of some of the drones that were coming. So there goes 1 mine. The turrets are kind of doing their business. This was the first step for me in working to clean out all of the Xenos so that I could just kind of sweep through here. Because, man, on my first playthrough, I swept through there and it is so dimly lit. I just kept screwing myself with the Xenos. The patch had not dropped yet that fixed the drone's usage in Montero and in a couple other later missions. So my drone kept getting stuck in the walls and it was completely unusable. So I was able to kind of benefit from the patch here, and I really had a good time with it. So we're gonna go ahead and advance to our next experience, and just kind of let you know where I am with it. You could see here real quick. Also, I'm pulling a couple more drones into the turrets. This just worked for me. All right, so right around here, things have started to get a little out of control. You can just kind of see from my motion tracker there that it's going nuts. There are tons of contacts on the Montero, and we all know that. We all know that there are tons. My drone was spotted by the Guardians, all right, by the Darwin era Guardians. They're of course now calling for help. They're shooting through the hallways. My drone is just trying to get home. All right, this is like homeward bound. Okay, my drone just wants to get home. So that's kind of what leads us into where we are now. All right, so you can see here my drone is trying to go through the hallways and avoid things, but unfortunately, my team that was set up in this one little original alcove, I opened up the door and now I've got Xenos pouring in. I've got to use a suppressive fire because I've got to use something to slow down. I've got to basically use that door as a fatal funnel. I have to use that door as a fatal funnel, and I've got to use all my firepower forward. This is why I'm saying I truly believe recon is absolutely useless. I believe 100% that recon is useless on this level. I'm not saying, listen, listen, I am not saying that you can't have had or you can't have used recon at one point in time on this level and that you can't have fun with it. I just listen. I'm not going to tell you how to play the game. I'm just channeling my own experience, as you can see here. Okay, so limited on tools. We've got 1 out of 7 tools. We've got 4 out of 7 med kits. We are a 5 stack on turrets. And I have 4 command points to speak of, all right? So we're going to go ahead and drop suppressive fire, and we're also going to go ahead and get a shotgun ready for that funnel as well. My Marine is with suppressive fire. He's slowing down the Xenos. You can see they're being affected by that, and I'm hunted now. I'm hunted, and there's nothing I can do. There's nowhere that you can go. The Montero is just such a challenging mission, all right? Things are okay here for a little bit. Okay, I kind of pull my team back a little bit. I'm just kind of trying to get a foothold, man. It's the Montero is hard just because there's really no sound way to create an Alamo for you and your team. And with the way some of these crates are set up, it's also impossible to get sniper shots because they're too high of barricades. Right here, there is no way for me to snipe any of these Xenos coming through because in the center of this room, there's a barricade that you can see there. All right. Because of that barricade, my recon cannot get can't get past about halfway through the room. So that's going to impact things. You might be able to make this work if you went in here with 3 recon. I could see that maybe working because you'd have multiple angles on your stacks. But with 1 recon trying to build a balanced team, man, it's such a headache. Like it's deadly. It's absolutely deadly. All right, we're going to go ahead and spin on from here. We have a couple more contacts, a couple more engagements, but it's really just more of a 2 steps forward, 1 steps back, kind of bounding situation. So I'm going to go ahead and spin forward until we get to a little bit more grabbing content. All right, so you can see our drone in the top there got shot, and we've got more Guardian Darwin era people coming at us. Just some more interesting contact. Once again, I can't snipe down the hallway because of that dead zone. You got two Darwin era gentlemen here, and I've also got a couple of Xenos, I believe, coming around the pipe. I'm just stuck. You just feel stuck at times playing the Montero mission. I cannot help but just feel that way, okay? All right, so I've got these 2 guys coming, and I'm just kind of trying to gain the advantage, man. Quite honestly, I don't think the grenade launcher does enough damage. If I'm perfectly frank, I feel like the grenade launcher should do some pretty good damage. So we've got some contact coming there. You can also see we have a heavy stream of Xenos and other Darwin era also coming down that hallway. Once again, cannot get the grenade launcher off where I need it because of those cabinets down the center. Now, for the most part, it's kind of nice. I mean, it's kind of nice because they have to traverse that distance around the cabinet as well, which does kind of slow their movement. The Xenos don't just have the opportunity to do a hardball, fast run directly at your Marines, which, I don't know. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. I could use suppressive fire and slow them down regardless, or I can go ahead and take advantage of the fact that these cabinets in the center are going to slow them down. But it is what it is. You can see that they kind of have to kind of sneak around that cabinet. My team does go ahead and just slowly push up, and I'm really kind of starting to reach the mentality of, if I can be frank with you, fuck it. I'm just going to start operating in a rolling T. I'm going to move through these corridors slow and steady where my Marines can engage while still moving, and I'm just going to deal with it. Right here, I decide I want to throw a flare. Guess what I can't do? I can't throw a flare. All right, so I'm still stuck. So my Marines are now kind of guarded. They shouldn't have been. I should have had them up and about, but it is what it is. I feel like we kind of get a surprise here with the shotgun. I feel like we do some good, and we do some damage. My Marines kind of pop up, but what an absolute, man, what an absolute hassle, man. I mean, this is the Montero. This is pure Montero, and it is just, I know I sound like I'm beating a dead horse here. Just one of the most frustrating missions, all right? Now, I do want to go ahead and blow this wall out. I came in here with the mentality that I am in a better spot than I was previously, and I'm going to get everything. I walked out of the Montero on my first playthrough missing a lot of things. I was not prepared for this. Well, I screwed my first playthrough regardless. I absolutely bombed it out of the sky, okay? It was horrible. So I'm coming in here saying I'm going to get everything. I'm going to blow up all these walls. I know I'm going to make some noise, but I also need some ammo, and I know that some of these hidden walls have these ammo, have the ammo in them, all right? So I start making a play for this room. I've got some guardians up top. I can't go that way, so I've got to backtrack. I've got to double back. So I decide I'm going to go ahead and blow up this wall. Now, in blowing up this wall, I gain the advantage a little bit just because I was able to snipe one guardian in this process. But even still, man, recon just... I don't want to beat up recon. If you really love recon on this level, hey man, more power to you. I love it. I love the different play styles. I really do. But quite honestly, it's just I could have made a better team. And that wall honestly could not have blown up at a better time. And that is 100% just pure sarcasm right there, because that wall blows up, and sure enough, that wall blows up right when everybody is within sound distance. So we've got some challenges here just in this particular section. In this section right here, we're about to have some Xenos and other friendlies, some non-friendly, some hostiles come around the corner. Just tight combat, man. Really tight combat. Shotgun does some damage for us there. It's fine. But once again, man, this is pure Montero. All right, so we make it over here to this room. It's just a little westernly from where we just were, and we make it across the hall. And I was gonna just go ahead and flamethrow this egg sack, and you know what I said? Yeah, you guessed it. I said something. I said an expletive. Just I don't care, man. Make noise, but be tactically sound about having to make noise. If you're gonna go ahead and engage, if you're gonna be loud about it, then at least put yourself in a position where you have at least good fatal funnels. So I knew that I made some noise. I knew people were probably going to be hunting for me, so I went ahead and I ducked into these other rooms to try and get out of the area. Didn't have any resource points or command points. I was going to go ahead and drop some motion trackers, but let's open this cocoon and just kind of Charlie Mike. Let's just kind of get on with the mission. All right. So we do go ahead and bust in the cocoon. We finally have a resource point, and I know what you're saying. I'm sitting on a lot of retribution. I don't remember when I first used retribution in this, but I knew that my Marines were probably going to need retribution at full so that I could take advantage of the double health points that come on its usage when you're at max. So I was really trying to get my retribution up to max on this, just in case I needed those 2 additional hit points. Like I said, I remember what my experience was like on the Montero initially. All right, so we got our guy out of the cocoon. We're going to go ahead and bring him back up to the surface, and then we're going to go ahead and come back. So I'm just going to cut there and bring you guys back. All right, so we are back in the Montero. Now, something that isn't really relevant to this particular mission, but it sort of is relevant to the mission. You can see that we're almost a third into the medium aggro bar. All right. Now, the reason that is because we were so close at the end of the last mission to an onslaught that when we brought the cocoon survivor up, we engaged the onslaught purposefully. I did not want to deal with an onslaught down here. Now, I know that I think I still have an onslaught coming in this particular mission, but I dealt with an onslaught and I dealt with a crusher. So I stayed in Berkeley Docks until the onslaught was complete and until the Cat 2 decided to go ahead and rear his head as well, which was a crusher. So at this point in time, we're just going to be making our way over to that making our way over to the generator room. We need to go ahead and find that way to activate power. So I'm going to go ahead and spin forward a little bit to that particular next mission. I think everything actually goes through here pretty smoothly, just up until we hit that power generator. So give me just 1 minute. All right, so we make it to the generator room, and the first thing that I do is I set up my turrets. I've got 2 facing the east door and 2 facing the western door. I know that I'm going to have to deal with a flood of Xenos, and this is just what has to get done. Now, luck would have it, okay, I have a Xeno breach the door in the middle of us setting up the turrets. I probably would have gotten the silent shot off, but the turrets got built right in time, and they went ahead and just took the shot. So I jump in the power loader, and I've got Kurtz. He's gonna start just loading the power. Obviously, I made sure that I selected my Techer and not anybody else. Everyone else is a lot more combat effective than the Techer. So Xenos start flooding in. What's the next step? Well, right now everything is pretty manageable. All right, the Xenos aren't coming in too much of a flood, but I wanted to make sure that I started cutting off access where I could. So I do go ahead and grab the grenade launcher. The grenade launcher does blow up the barrel. All right, so that does offer some fire damage to the Xenos in this instance, and it also offers some damage to any wrongdoers that are going to come through that door anyway. So boom, now we've got a fire, and we've got another situation where hostiles are breaching through the other door. I want that barrel gone. And, you know, listen, I probably could have saved that barrel for another flood of Xenos, but I need to use the resources that are available to me now, and I need to try and conserve as much ammo as I can as well. So that's why I went this route. So everything's going pretty smooth, all right? Everything's going pretty smooth. The Xenos are getting chewed up pretty easily, and I can't say that we're having too much of a problem. Now, down the road, we certainly do go ahead and crack the flamethrower out. Okay, we do go ahead and grab that sucker. But now we start to have another basis of attack. So time to grab the incinerator and time to start cutting off avenues of approach. All right. My thought process is always when I'm faced with 2 doors, take 1 door out of the equation. The Xenos don't like fire. They're not going to want to go through these flames. That means that I can go ahead and concentrate the majority of my firepower on another door. Not saying that other Xenos probably won't come through that fire, but I have less of a chance of having to deal on facing contact on 2 fronts. I want to try and maximize my firepower in one direction as always. All right, and you can see, yeah, I mean, they're going the long way around, all right? Now, the other thing that's kind of nice about this that I didn't plan on, it just kind of worked out that way for me. The thing that's nice is that my power loader is going toward the fire, so I know he's not going to get jumped in the back, right? And once again, yeah, here's the AI. The AI does not want to go through the fire. You can see them all traversing around the flames, all right? Now, all right, so we had the question of when does Nick actually use retribution? Well, here, right here, in this moment. You're seeing it in real time. I don't remember doing this, but apparently this is exactly where I did it. So I am out of command points, all right? Now, coming up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a flare because I really, really want the accuracy, and my team is also getting stressed out pretty bad right now. So I do go ahead and pop reprimand as well. So team is not going to get stressed out anytime soon. Now, we do go ahead and clean things up a little bit here, but I will bring you back in just a hot minute because things kind of get screwed up. I mean, worse. I mean, they could be worse. They could be worse. I made a really, really bad decision, and I paid for it. All right, so right here, I make a really, really critically bad decision. The bad decision that I make is I blindly ask my team to go repair my battle drone. What I was not paying attention to was all the fog of war through these channels and aisles that my team could not break because they had not discovered it yet, okay? So instead of going through this door, which I thought they would go through, they don't go through that door. they wind up deciding to, I don't know, go the long route on some sort of an Australian walkabout. What a mistake, man. What an absolute mistake. And you'll see why my team winds up burning ammo that they don't have in an engagement that I could have mitigated if I would have just done things a little bit differently. All right, so the team is moving and I go to the map and I'm like, wait a minute, what's everybody doing? Why is everybody going different directions? This shouldn't be happening. That's when it dawns on me that it's the fog of war that's impacting this. So I wind up getting back to the main screen and adjusting it, but not before, keep in mind from the map, my team is really, really separated. And I didn't see it at the time because it was so small, but in hindsight, this hive is spawning a Xeno. So I've now got a runner who's going to come up on my team pretty damn quickly, and my team's going to pay for that. They're so separated. In fact, they're so separated, the runner doesn't even know that one guy is all by himself. Like, that's how separated they are. So now I come across the Darwin era guys, and the only thing I have in my arsenal that I can do is start lobbing grenades at these guys. I've got a full complement of command points, and this is the only thing I have going in my favor. They are so tough. They are such a tough team to go up against. So I get my guys into their rolling T and just kind of slowly advance down the corridor. It's the only thing I can do to gain advantage and continue to advance on the Darwin era team members. All right, so the drone is repaired, but comically enough, I did not recall my drone. So my drone is actually still just hanging out there. So my team is going to get noticed here, and my drone is also going to wind up getting shot here in a little bit as well. But right around here, well, there's a shotgun right to the face. It's time to move. All right, it's time to kind of get the team moving. So I get them back into their rolling T, and I continue to just kind of have them advance. I'm able to kind of jog them down pretty quickly, and I love this save point because I have saved at this save point multiple times, and multiple times it's not saved for me. So I was having like Montero flashbacks. We wind up getting into the room. We wind up getting rested okay. I'll go ahead and bring you back, and we'll discuss the next half of the Montero. Okay, so we are back in our saving area, and this is after, of course, when I first reloaded, I was actually brought back to the very end of the defense phase that we had with the power loader. That being said, in that instance, when I came back to this saving area, I was actually able to recover my drone correctly. So we're sitting in a good spot, but I needed to try to mitigate any additional loss of ammo. All right, so I go ahead and I swap over some of my guys to their sidearms. Yes, a lot less effective, but you know, man, you got to do what you got to do. I don't want them to burn through their pulse rifles just in case a swarm comes along or I wind up getting detected. I can always swap them back over and make that judgment call if I need to. So I know that I'm about to cause a whole bunch of noise. So the first thing on my list, the first thing on my to-do list is set a whole bunch of mines. That way I at least have my 6 o'clock covered. You can see in the motion tracker that, I mean, it's all white. We will have it's like they're redecorating and they just want to make the room look bigger.
They're heading our
They've
way.
painted everything white. So I have so many contacts right now, so many. And I even have some coming down the walkway as I'm trying to advance. They go ahead and pop the mines, so those were wasted command points that I wasn't prepared to lose at the time. But hey, that's the Montero, right? Nevertheless, I'm able to finally go ahead and advance to the closed doors after setting up a couple more mines. So we breach the doors and we're instantaneously met with a lot of contact, right? I've got another decent complement of command points, so I just start lobbing grenades down here, okay? I mean, the pistols are just, I mean, it's an embarrassment. I mean, it's just, there's no real good way to engage right now, okay? Thankfully, I'm able to recover some ammo because I do need it here in a little bit. I do need one ammo. Nobody can reload. Absolutely nobody can reload. I did have one Xeno coming across. That mine got tripped. Thank God for that. And this guy finally got waxed. I know exactly where I'm going because I know exactly what I need. We're going to go ahead and push, grab the ammo first, of course, but we're going to go ahead and push through these doors. And we want to go ahead and blow up that wall so that I can get additional ammo for my team, swap back over to our main armament, and not be using our sidearms. All right, so we've gone ahead and popped that wall open, and there is just everybody and their mother wants to find out what's going on. Okay, we've got a sentry we can't pick up because we're 5 out of 5, but I know these 3 guys are coming. In fact, we have a lot of guys coming to our location right now. We've picked up our ammo. They're off our motion trackers. No idea where these guys are, but we know where they're coming. So, all right, so here is where I decided that I needed to set up as many turrets as I possibly could and use this as a choke point. Use this as a fatal funnel. My Marines can hide behind this weapons rack. The sentries can go ahead and engage whoever breaks their plane of sight, all right? I do go ahead and pick up this additional sentry gun as well, just so that I'm not completely out of sentry guns should I need them. But I basically just use this time right now. I basically set up this armory as an Alamo, so to speak. Once I do that, I do work on kind of cleaning things up here. I know that these guys are coming. We can see these guys moving on the motion tracker. I mean, you know they're coming. I know they're coming, okay? But I've also got to get the main objective done too, right? So we do go ahead and get things cleaned up, but there's about 5 to 10 minutes worth of my team hanging out in this armory just because they keep getting rushed by Xenos, or they keep getting rushed. Here's a prime example. We've got these guys coming. They've got something to prove, I guess. I don't know, man. So it's literally like 5 to 10 minutes worth of me sitting here just cleaning this up, finding the best time to make a break just so that my team can go ahead and advance the mission further. I'm gonna go ahead and spin on past this, but this helped me out a lot. My team wasn't wasting any ammo, but also unfortunately, my team was burning through sentry gun ammo, which was also a high commodity. So let's go ahead and advance a little bit past this. So we're pushing out of the armory, and we're on our way to kind of collect these materials. Now, right now, it is absolutely swimming. It is swimming with contacts. I'm trying to figure out what the patterns are and where my next move is going to be. All right, so we've grabbed the materials, and it is just too many Xenos, too many Guardians. So I'm going to backtrack just a little bit. What I want to do is pop this motion tracker. Once it's popped, I beat feet to the elevator. I want to get in, and I want to get myself into a position where I'm away from the most amount of contact. I realize that one door is welded, so my goal now is to get to the elevator and unweld that door. In the process of doing all of this, I wind up having to burn through a couple motion trackers. I wind up having to burn a couple of them because the Xenos and the Guardians, there are just too many of them, and I don't have enough time. So I'm really trying to buy a lot of time, and in that process, we set up the motion trackers so that we can buy ourselves that time. All right, so we have pushed through the door, we've popped the motion trackers that we need, and now we're in this hallway, this rotunda. I don't know what you want to call it. We've got a couple of eggs here that we need to purge. We need to get rid of them. We need to bypass. This is the next challenge that you face in order to move on to the bridge of the ship of the Montero. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and drop a flamethrower on these. We don't get detected. The facehuggers are very comfortably neutralized, and we're in a good place. So we're going to be advancing to the bridge of the Montero, and we don't have anybody on our tail. It's honestly, I mean, it could have been a lot worse. My first playthrough, man, I really dropped the ball on these facehuggers, and I wound up having a massive gunfight stuck in this rotunda, and I could not get an edge. They were coming from both doors, and man, was I screwed. All right, at this point in time, we've kind of cleaned up a lot of the map, and what I'm doing right now is I'm setting up an Alamo, and you'll hear me say that I'm setting up an Alamo a lot. I'm not a historian. I'm really not. One of my commenters and one of my friends who comments on the videos all the time, Topher Broman, he probably can go into grand detail about the Alamo. He's kind of a bookie. He's good like that. So, but ultimately, I want to set up an area that my team can fall behind and have a convincing and solid and successful last stand. All right. So that's ultimately what I did here. I went ahead and I pushed out my drone. I was basically going to use my drone to pull in any loose Xenos in the area. We're basically gonna use our drone to finish snooping around any loose Xenos in the area, anybody sleeping, anything like that in their hibernetic state. I want to pull them into the turrets. I also don't want my turrets compromised. That's why I set up 4 of them, right? I want to make sure that my turrets aren't going to be rushed and lose the impact of their firepower. So you can see here, I'm just kind of drawing in Xenos, bringing them to those turrets. Here's another great example. Xenos are coming in, the turrets are taking care of them. So I do that for a little bit. I want to create a good, clean space for my team to maneuver, because the Montero does not do us any favors. Okay. All right, so pulling you in here, we've gone ahead and we've set ourselves up another Alamo. It's a little bit of a different one because my team is not behind my turrets. They are in one of the rooms that's kind of an offshoot of this hallway. I've got my drone kind of moving around, and I've got my turrets set up right there so that I can draw people in and engage. I'm still in the process of pushing my drone forward, finding out what's there, collecting that information, bringing it back to my team, and making sure that my team, of course, once again, can maneuver safely. You see right here, we're drawing in some Guardians. Bam, turrets take care of them. No problems there. Now, past this point, we're probably going to skip forward a little bit just because the last few moments of this mission actually go by pretty smooth. You can see here we just pulled in a Xeno right there. Xeno got waxed. There's acid all over the floor. Someone's got to clean that up now. Somebody get noob.
You have a new mission.
God damn.
So we're gonna go ahead and push forward a little bit on this one. Like I said, the remainder of this process is actually a little slow going. So we're gonna go ahead and just push forward a little bit. Hang on. All right, I lied. Things don't go smoothly. A Xeno does happen to spot our team. Let's go, team. You get invested in moments in a game. You get invested and you're not monitoring things the way that you should. I'm screwed right now. I'm in a very, very precarious situation. I'm hunted, and not only am I hunted, but my team has an onslaught that's going to present itself before the end, and I believe I wind up getting that cat too as well. So my only saving grace here is this fatal funnel. The one door is locked. There's no other way for anyone to get to me, and they're coming in force. In fact, I stupidly went to the map there. I don't know why. I don't know why I did that. There's an onslaught incoming. I have to deal with all these Xenos. My team is just getting wrecked right now. So we go ahead and we do our best to just kind of clean this up and set things up. Thankfully, I've got med packs. I've been in worse situations with no med packs before. I've got med packs. I've got turrets aplenty. So I'm going to be able to set up my 5 turrets. I'm going to be able to set them up, and I'm going to be able to support my team. The other thing that's really, really nice here is this little walkway, not walkway, excuse me, this ledge, this shelf that sticks out for, I don't know, it's a receptionist counter, like it's a dental office or something. I don't know what that's for, but I was actually, funny story. I was actually in full panic mode at this point in time, knowing that I had an onslaught that was coming in. I was actually, in my mind, thinking about pushing my team over and opening that door to run. Honestly, I'm glad I didn't do that. You'll see that we wind up supporting the team pretty well. I probably would have, hindsight being 2020, I probably would have actually opened up that door if Kurtz was not in the process of being healed. The only reason I stopped is because only 3 of my Marines moved and the others were locked in to the healing phase. Thank God that it worked that way, because I almost made a really, really horrible tactical decision. All right, so they moved over there, pull them back. I went ahead and I went to the map. I wanted to see how much time I had. I've got a lot of time. I've got a lot of time to set my my defenses up. I mean, let's just call it what it is. So I go ahead and I just spam all my turrets facing forward. I face that intersection, do the damn best that I possibly can, just to create some choke points. Once again, of course, this little shelf offers a pretty good choke point for the team. It means that if I have a Xeno coming at me, a shotgun blast aimed in that funnel is gonna work. It's gonna work out really, really well. So let's let this one ride. I've got enough time. I heal McDonald. The turrets are holding up okay. And I do also go ahead and blast the flamethrower there. I want to try and get as much damage down range and block routes. I know that they're not going to go anywhere else other than you know, through that door. But it's a channel that they're forced to engage through. They don't have another door that they can get to my team with. So because of that, I can flame that walkway and they're going to take damage. Got a couple of turrets down. I do go ahead and reload turrets. We're still kind of in this defense phase, the onslaught phase, excuse me. But all right, everything's reloaded, and we also have one turret down. So let's go ahead and get everything picked up, and let's push on. Pick up, please. Pick up.
Packing sentry gun.
Pick up.
Great. That's just...
All right, so this is just kind of where things come to a close, where things come to an end. My team did not have any real serious engagements past that onslaught. I was able to open up that last locked door, get my team right to the elevator, and get them off the Montero. I was honestly thinking about pulling my team in the middle of all of this. I'm glad I didn't. I think that everyone did a really, really bang up job on this one, and I still don't like it. Montero is my least favorite mission in the entirety. But here's the thing. If I were to go back, my team would be 3 gunners, 1 techer, 1 sergeant. I might do 2 gunners, 2 sergeants, 1 techer, but quite honestly, the firepower is what kind of helped everything. So I'm done with it. I appreciate you all for joining me on this one. A little bit of a longer one, but the Montero in and of itself is a tactical disaster. I dislike it, and I love it for both of those reasons. I think there are multiple different ways that you could tackle the Montero effectively, and I think that I did a much better job this go round than my first. It's all about experience. It's all about learning, finding out what works for you. Drop some comments down below. Let me know what your dream team is on the Montero. To all my patron members, to all my subscribers, to all my viewers, commenters, thank you, everybody. The past year and a half has been absolutely exceptional. I'm going to continue to push the envelope on this channel. I'm going to continue to try and make sure that we're bringing good, fresh content. I will see you on the next one, everybody. Thank you again for everything. Nick out.